Hello, Sandy Grason.
Hello, bonjour.
My Sandy, it's so good to be interviewing you. You're the author
I
of
know.
JOURNALUTION, a best-selling author. You're a coach. You're a fantastic woman making such a difference in the world. And we founded together the 100-Day Challenge, so it's a delight to be speaking with you and sharing all this with everyone on the internet. Thank you so much, Sandy.
My pleasure, my friend. I miss you. I miss you.
I miss you too. I miss you too. So tell us, can you share with us a bit of your wisdom on journaling? Because you wrote this fantastic book, Journalution. Can you tell us why we should journal and why is it so important and what it can reveal in our life?
Sure. Well, I always say that journaling was the thing that really transformed my life, that I was searching for my passion and my purpose, and I had a lot of pain and anger inside of me. Like if you met me 20 years ago, you would say, "Oh, she's so happy, she's so bubbly," but just below the surface, just underneath the facade, I was very unhappy. And if I got angry, I would slam doors, and there was just like this stuff inside. And a therapist actually said to me, you need to go home and buy a journal and write a letter to your dad. And that was when I was in my early 20s. I'm now 43. And I had never journaled before. I was not a kid who kept journals. And so it was a new thing. And I started writing these angry letters to my father, who had left when I was 7, and I had no relationship with him. And immediately I felt like a deep sigh, like, it just
Yeah.
felt like the page was soaking up all of these emotions inside of me. And I just wrote everything. I wrote, "Why were you never there? How could you leave these 3 children, never call, not a card on my birthdays?" Just this, all of this anger poured out of me. And then, very interestingly, right away, I started to hear this whisper. And it was my inner wisdom, this whisper that I think we all have, but it's very hard to hear it when you're just going through your life. There's so much noise, so much information coming at you, so many opinions from the television and your family and friends about who you should be. And journaling was this very safe place where I began to hear my own wisdom and my own dreams. It just began to bubble up. And I think that's possible for everyone. I always say that becoming a published author was a process of overcoming extreme self-doubt.
Mm.
Because every time I heard that whisper that said, "Write a book," the very next thing I heard was, "You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think you are?"
Mm-hmm.
And so I call this your inner wisdom and your inner critic.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe your inner wisdom whispers and your inner critic yells. And journaling helped me turn up the volume on my inner wisdom. My inner critic is still there, even today after, my book has been published and I make lots of money doing work I love, and I get to do this passionate work with people, and I speak in front of hundreds of thousands of people, but I still have that voice inside of me that tells me I'm not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I think journaling is one of those things that helps you manage the self-doubt
So how
and
do you
helps you really
separate
live your
that?
life.
So how do you separate that, Sandy, in your book? How do you turn up the volume on the good and you let the bad speak up for itself? You write all this out? I mean, how do you map all this out?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's different for everyone. I'm not a big fan of rules. I say in my book, I don't think you have to do it every day. And most of the time when I journal, it's because I'm upset. There's a problem, or I'm angry about something, and I know that if I write about it in my journal, eventually the answer will come. And so there are 47 journaling prompts in the book, and they're all designed to help you connect to your wisdom. I don't think I am a guru. I don't think I have your answers, but I think you have your answers.
Mm-hmm.
And journaling is one of those places where you can find your own answers.
Mm-hmm. So what are prompts?
So
What do
yeah,
you
I
mean
think
by
dumping.
prompts? What do you mean?
So a prompt would be like, okay, so I think this is the best journaling prompt ever. If you really, really want to get to the heart of what's going on in your life right now, use this prompt. So set a timer for 10 minutes. Maybe, turn off your phone, close the door, don't just for 10 minutes, only 10 minutes, and write at the top of a blank page, I don't want to write about. Go.
Yeah.
And just go. And the trick is really not editing. Don't worry about your handwriting or your grammar. Or if you're typing, just type as fast as you can. Just dump everything, incomplete sentences, just get it out on the page. And what will happen in those 10 minutes, usually right as the timer is going off, is all of this creativity, all of these new ideas will start pouring out of you. I think there's something magical about the timer and allowing yourself to write anything and everything that pops into your mind. And you can throw it away when you're done, but almost always something surprising will show up.
So is it about quantity, or is there really a way, because reading your book really took my whole journaling to a new level. I've been journaling since I'm 8 years old, but reading your book, I start seeing journaling as a whole new tool with a lot more depth than I thought. Instead of just putting out my thoughts, I can't remember how can we take this to a new level?
I do believe allowing yourself to write anything. It has to feel safe, because there's all those things in your head right now that maybe you're afraid to write because someone's going to read it. And I think the way to really go deep with your journaling is to not edit. And I have found, just what I told you is what I do. I don't need a timer anymore, but I use them a lot in my workshops, because I think knowing that you have to keep the pen moving, that is my only rule in my workshops, is you must keep the pen moving for the entire exercise. And it doesn't matter if you write, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to write. Until something pops into your mind, because something will come and you're editing, you're constantly editing, and there's this busy mind going on, and journaling is just one of those great tools to drop you back into your body and get you reconnected to that place inside of you that has all of the answers. Any question you have the answer to. And it's really just being quiet and connecting and listening, and then writing it down. You got to write down those answers.
Do you have a last little piece of advice for anybody listening right now and that wants to start their own journal?
Okay. No rules. No rules, just write. WRITE. Just pick up the pen and say, I know, and go. Or I am, go. A perfect day, go. And just don't edit yourself. You'll be amazed at what can come through you.
And you just allow it to be, and then something will open up from there.
Exactly.
Cool. Thank you, Sandy.
You're very welcome, darling.